My name is Robert D. Garamore, and I'm recording this for Liberty University, History 713, American Entrepreneurship Since 1900. I'd like to talk about the monetary system in the United States, specifically around 1890s. I want to start out with just a precursor to get you to that point. The first 50 years of American monetary policy was pretty much non-existent. No one in the world thought United States would last longer than 50 years because it's this multiracial, experiment, democratic experiment. And the international community wasn't really accepting or giving any note to American monetary systems until 1830s when they decided to do something about it. This is right in the middle of the 1830s, you'll remember in American history when Thomas Biddle and Andrew Jackson were going after each other with the bank wars. So the United States decides to set up a stable currency which represented 16 ounces of silver equals 1 ounce of gold. Okay, and they would print that through specie, actual minting of coin. Now, what's going to happen in 1860 is our government is going to run out of money because we're getting ready to finance a war, and to do that, we're going to need lots of money. And so what they ended up doing is printing dollars, greenbacks is what they're called, and that suggests that it's backed by gold in a vault in Fort Knox. Yeah, right. Anyway, they're going to correct that problem, trying to take the greenbacks off the market and re-establish themselves in the international monetary system with this new gold law. Okay, again, they're going to reiterate in 1873 that 16 ounces of silver equals 1 ounce of gold. 1873. Now we fast forward the clock to say 1880s when the cracks starting to appear in this system. The main reason is because Western economies basically found gold in Wallace, Idaho, and they found gold at Comstock Lode in Nevada, which is flooding silver onto the market. Okay. Now, what's happening here is the government trying to stabilize the ratio between silver and gold is going to start purchasing silver on the open market. Okay, this is called the Sherman Silver Purchase Act, where they're going to start purchasing 4.5 million pounds of silver annually to stabilize the silver market. Okay, this is going to be one of the problems that the Populist Party is going to bring up on their platform. It's very interesting, this guy John Sherman, in the first place. He is the little brother of the famous General Sherman. And if you start looking myopically, his name's all over the place on legislation. He's a powerhouse. He's basically the Speaker of the House. He's the Nancy Pelosi of 1890. Okay, he's going to pass several bills. One of them is the Sherman Antitrust Act in 1890, which shows he's very hypocritical too, because on the one point he's sucking silver out of the market and artificially stabilizing the price, and this basically is the benefit of the corporations. Now, on the other side of the coin, he's arguing the Anti-Sherman Trust Act, which he's going to go after big trusts to where they can't accumulate money. Okay, interesting enough, he's a senator from Ohio. They're going to call him the Ohio Icicle, and the reason he's so antitrust is because Rockefeller set his Standard Oil Trust up in Ohio. So it kind of all feeds together. This is going to start a depression of 1893 because the depression is basically saying a lot of economists believe that it started because of the deflationary policies that were put in place by the federal government. There's some great books on this. Several of them are listed here in my bibliography. Paul Barnett is re-examining the crime of 1873. H.W. Brands, the University of Austin, Texas. He writes this book called The Reckless Decade in Americas in the 1890s. And there's a economist, Barry Eichengreen, who is going to write a book about the history of the international monetary system. And it's very interesting that the foreign influences on American monetary policy. to be able to structure international trade efficiently, Sherman's out there working with um, international businesses to basically figure out how we can make United States currency the currency of the world, which it is now. That was one of his little things that he did to make American number one. Anyway, I see my time's out, but hopefully you'll enjoy this discussion and look a little bit more in depth to it. Thank you.